So I declare the convocation open.
Ya kundendu tushadhara ya shubhavastra ya veedavardandamanditpatra ya shvetpadmasana ya brahmanchit shankara pravitriti devahi sada manditam sama patu saraswati bhagavati nishesh jadyapaha.
A very good afternoon to all of you. Mr. Sanjay Davar, members of the Board of the Governors, parents, students, teachers, ladies and gentlemen. A very good evening and a warm welcome to the 8th annual convocation of IIM Udaipur. It's a matter of great honor to welcome Mr. Sanjay Davar as the chief guest at today's ceremony. Mr. Davar is a managing director and leads the Accenture strategy within India. His expertise focuses on advising companies and government in India and in Asia Pacific region on business strategy, operating models, digital strategies, and innovation, cost management, consumer strategies, human capital management, large-scale business transformation, and organizational change. Mr. Davar has been over 27 years of having experience working with Accenture, has led many business strategies and operations consulting programs focused mainly on automotive, industrial equipment, infrastructure, energy, utility, chemicals, natural resources, transportation, and consumer goods and services industry and public sector. Before his current role, he was Managing Director of Operation Consulting in Asia Pacific region. He also led Accenture Global Capability Network for Infrastructure, Commodity, and Operation Consulting, which provides specialized functional management consulting skills from critical locations in Asia Pacific, Europe, and Latin America. I want to express a sincere thanks to Mr. Davar for taking time to be with us today. IIM Udaipur strives to teach excellence and compassion among our students. Nobody can provide a better example and inspiration of our graduates than you, as you have embarked on your journey of becoming a responsible leaders of tomorrow by revamping the new normal. I understand that the convocation is landmark event for all of you. It may have caused inconvenience to many of you as we had to postpone our convocation schedule on March 30, 2020, considering the COVID-19 outbreak. Nevertheless, we have been working hard to host a blended and in a blended environment. Still, the second wave and spikes in the number of coronavirus cases, we all had to do this virtually. I genuinely acknowledge and appreciate the participation of each one of you. Today's convocation gives us an excellent opportunity to celebrate IIM Udaipur's recent achievements. In past 12 months have been the most challenging time for IIM Udaipur community with an unprecedented global pandemic outbreak COVID-19. However, it didn't stop us from achieving our aspiration in the challenging scenario. Last year, IIM Udaipur became the youngest school in the world to be listed on QS Masters in Management ranking and in Financial Times Masters in Management ranking 2019. Both these rankings are recognized globally as a critical indicator of excellence in B school. IIM Udaipur is also the youngest B school in the world on both this ranking. I want to congratulate the entire IIM Udaipur community for making this possible. Both these achievements acknowledge that the IIM Udaipur approach and practice are comparable to the world's best management institutions. The ambition to become a globally recognized management institution has consciously created a culture that values collegiality and accessibility. Meaningful growth, innovation, and achievements are in the DNA of IIM Udaipur. In the year 2019, IIM Udaipur board led the Vision 2030. Steered by our board member, Mr. D. Shivkumar, the institute had carried out an elaborate visioning exercise involving all the stakeholders. The group working on the vision identified 12 premier international schools, which will be our benchmark for till 2030. In our new vision, two core areas have emerged as a high quality are the high quality research and student transformation. The institute has set up task forces which include board and faculty members to work on detailed action plan on various aspects of this vision. I am pleased to share that now we have a vision owned by our outstanding board, faculty, alumni, and staff. As an institute, we always strive to respond quickly to the needs of the industry. Our most recent step in this direction is the launch of first ever one-year MBA in Digital Enterprise Management for experienced professional. Given how technology is changing the world, future career will be different from what we see today. At IIM Udaipur, we don't just want our students to prepare for this change, but welcome the change. This is our motivation in introducing this ambitious new program, whose focus is to develop a new breed of management and leadership talents for the emerging digital world. IIM Udaipur values the linkage that we have with the industry and strengthen this association further. The institute has created 2 advisory boards for the one-year MBA program. These advisory boards are composed of highly esteemed professionals and entrepreneurs from leading companies across India. These leaders provide us with insight on strategic initiatives and development plan for our one-year MBA program. Leadership in research is one of the critical factors for becoming the globally recognized management institution. This year too, 2 of our faculty members, Professor Anirban Adhikari and Professor Ankur Kapoor, contributed to research that builds the theory and inspires practice by publishing in the Journal of Operation Management and Journal of Consumer Psychology, respectively. Both these journals are the part of prestigious Financial Times journal list. I want to mention a special note of congratulations to Professor Anirban Adhikari, who published in the Journal of Operation Management, which is a part of 2 prestigious management journals, 50 by Financial Times and 24 by UT Dallas list. Well done. You both have made us proud for your achievements. Increasingly, management research is being considered from an academic and theoretical perspective and its impact on practitioners, including policymakers, corporate leaders, government professionals, and social sector experts. To bring the world of academic research and practitioner closure, IIM Udaipur launched the first edition of IIM Udaipur Business Review magazine. This bi-monthly magazines aim to make high-quality, impact-oriented research accessible to practitioners and provide insight and opinions for the experts valuable for the management professionals. This year, the Institute witnessed considerable growth in our internship and final placement records, demonstrating the thrust that the corporate sector has placed on our high academic standards. With increasing batch size and diversity, Our students received offers from most sought after roles and from prominent funds in India and abroad. IIM Udaipur is committed to offering a transformational learning experience to our students, and we believe that the improved placement are the fruition of academic integrity. IIM Udaipur takes pride in the fact that our rigor and high standard from inside the classroom are carried to the campus activities and the community life outside the classroom. This year, students took ownership and responsibility for themselves and the crucial aspect of student affairs, including organizing multiple events, implementing the new constitution, and continuing with the cultural collaboration. Our global supply chain management program, students continued the tradition of excellence. During the semester at Purdue University in United States, Keshav Nair from our graduate class received the Carnet Scholarship Award. Additionally, 6 students from the course made it to the Dean's list, and these students received academic honors. I want to congratulate the batch on this considerable feat. This is also the first batch of supply chain management program which will receive MBA degree. I also wish the batch great success with enhanced careers opportunity in logistics and supply chain related sectors. IIM Udaipur's PhD program is designed for students with strong academic credentials who aspire to undertake demanding original research in management. I'm happy to share that with you that our doctoral scholars represent the institute in the international workshops and reputed conferences. IIM Udaipur started its journey with a clear vision in place, which include a commitment to thought leadership in high quality research and developing managers and entrepreneurs amply prepared to be tomorrow's leader. From day one, the institute has meticulously designed programs and processes that have helped us to be where we are today. As we are completing our 10th year in 2021, we'll also continue to aim higher. Before I conclude, I want to take this opportunity to congratulate all our graduates. These 2 years were just the foundation for a far-reaching, meaningful things you will do in time to come. At IIM Udaipur, we'll keep dreaming more extensive, and we hope you too are never afraid to explore newer possibilities. I'm aware last year has been challenging for each one of you with the delayed joining, revoked offers, unusual careers, etc. But you handled it convincingly. The ups and downs of the adverse situation didn't take the opportunity to distinguish and establish yourself in the never seen environment. I take liberty to congratulate each of you and celebrate your success with the learning at IIM Udaipur, complemented with critical component of value and culture. I wish every one of you all the very best. Thank you very much.
The names of candidates will be called and their images will be displayed for awarding the degree of Master of Business Administration in Global Supply Chain Management. Aditya Vats. Akshara Anand. Debashish Tarafdar. Kartik Mishra. Keshav S. Nair. Krishnajit Bhattacharya. Nikhil Nan. PB Naga Aishwarya. Partha Sai Vangavolu. Ravleen Kaur. Sanjula Sinha. Shubham Narayan Srivastav. Saunak Kumar Maiti. Sumit Chakravarti. Sumit Singh. Mr. Chairman, I present Aditya Vats and 14 others who have fulfilled all requirements for the award of the MBA degree in Global Supply Chain Management and request the Board of Governors of the Indian Institute of Management Udaipur to confer the degrees upon them.
The members of the board may the degree to be conferred on these candidates.
Yes.
Yes, please.
Thank you.
Yes, please.
By the authority given to me by the Indian Institute of Management Udaipur Board, I confer on you the MBA degree in Global Supply Chain Management, and I charge you that in your life, with the words and the deed, you will prove yourself worthy of it.
The names of the candidates will be called and their images will be displayed for awarding the degree of Master of Business Administration. Akash Verma. Artika Vineet. Ayush Pundir. अभिरूप भट्टाचार्य, अभिषेक अरोड़ा, अभिषेक कुजूर, अभिषेक कुमार यादव, अभिषेक पॉल, अभिश्री मोहता, आदित्य जवनपुरिया, आदित्य कुमार मंगोर, आदित्य पवार, आदित्य सोनी, अजय सिंह, अजिंक्य खोब्रागड़े, आकांक्षी कपिल, आकाश कुमार यादव, आकाश सिंघल, आकाश यादव, अक्षय गोरखोडे, अक्षय कुमार बीटी, अक्षय मीना, एलिजा ए शेख, अमित कुमार, अमित यादव, अनिल कुमार साहू, अनिर्बान बेरा, अनिर्बान मिश्रा, अंजलि रघुवंशी, अंकित डांगी, अंकित मालपानी, अंकित ओझा, अंकिता रॉय, अंकुर हेलक, अनमोल खेड़िया, अंशिका गर्ग, अंशुल देव, अंशुल नागी, अंशुल सिंह टिटोरिया, अनुकृति मिश्रा, अपूर्वा जैन, अपूर्व बंदोपाध्याय, अर्चिता अग्रवाल, अर्पी भागेरवाल, आशीष भास्कर बाल्की, आशीष कुमार, आशीष कुमार शाक्य, अशोक कुमार सी, अश्वनी कुमार, अश्विन एस, आशुतोष बेहरा, अवनीश कुमार वर्मा, अवनीश भूत्रा, अवनीश कुमार, अयान सेन, आयुष जैन, आयुष खरे, आयुष राजा, आयुषराज चौहान, बबीता, भावेश बगारिया, भव्या जैन, भीनी यादव, भूमिका मनवानी, बोबिली सौरभ, चमनदीप सिंह, चरण तेज, चेतन कोनाठाला, चिरंजीव मुखर्जी, चित्रांश चौधरी, DR मोनिश कुमार, दीप त्रिवेदी, दीपा चौधरी, दीपक बोहरा, दीपक कुमार, दीपक पी, दीपांकर आजाद, देवांशी चौधरी, देवेश दिनकर, देवी प्रसाद पाइडी, धर्म राजेश अर्जुन, धीरज थावरानी, दिनेश एस, दिग्विजय सिंह चौहान, दिवेश कुमार, फ्रैंकलिन सुशील सोलोमन, GL निखिल, गरिमा, गौरव चौधरी, गौरव जैन, गौरव पटेल, गौतम कुमार, गीतांजलि गौतम, गिरिराज मुंद्रा, गीतिका कुमारी, गौतम एस, हर्षा दोनेपुड़ी, हर्षवर्धन चौहान, हसनीत सिंह सहगल, हिमांशु सिन्हा, हिमांशु गोयल, हितार्थ भट्ट, इमाडी श्रीकांत, इशिका गुप्ता, जसमीत सिंह अजमानी, जतिन राजपाल, जय एम जेठानी, जीतेश वार्ष्णेय, जूही पाहुजा, के रोहन कुमार, कल्पिता थिप्से, कमारा सुष्मेंद्र कुमार, तनिष्क राठौड़, कनिष्का सिंह, करण शुक्ला, कार्तिक तुलसियन, कार्तिकेय शांडिल्य, कशिश मेहता, कसीना वेंकट प्रणति, कृष्णा लूथरा, कुणाल कृष्ण, लतिशा जयसिंघानी, मधुलिका देगाला, महेंद्रकर विनिल राव, मनन चौधरी, मानस दोहार, मनस्वी खंडेलिया, मनजोत सिंह, मयूरी सुभाष शिंदे, मीना कुमारी, मीत किरीट कुमार शाह, मोहम्मद शाहबाज, मोहित चंदर कुमार वनवारी, मोनिका सारस्वत, मृणाल प्रसाद, मुजावर रसुल, मुकुल अग्रवाल, Mukul Kumar, NV Chaitanya Manohar, Nafisa Chandanwala, Nayak Pranav Narayan, Narita Day, Nandakumar G, Neha Bang, Nikhil Peter Jose, Nikhil Taneja, Neeraj Kumar, Nirmala Hemram, Nishant Naveen, Nitesh Kumar, Parth Gupta, Parul Chaudhary, Pawan Kumar Reddy, Falak Himanshu Kishore, Piyush Seval Dasani, Porika Ashish Nayak, Prabhat Mohan Patharia, Pranav Sharma, Pranay Dilip Dhone, Pranay Rai Dasari, Prateek Bhushan, Prateek Kumar Tripathi, Pratyush Shukla, Pritish Ranjan Behra, Priya Pramod, Priyanuj Deka, Pulipati Madhusudan Gupta, Rahul Ashok Kumar Ode, Rahul Giri, Rahul Gupta, Rahul Yadav, Rajaram Reddy Venam, Rajat Birla, Rajat Garg, Rakshita Chand, Raviraj Sangeeta, Rishabh Chaudhary, Ritika Gupta, Ritu Namdev, Roktim Kumar Manta, Rohit Bhadola, Rohit Gathala, Rohit Kalra, Rutuja Munde, RVS Soumya, Sagar Nikam, Sai Pawan Reddy L, Sainath Adagatla, Samar Chavan, Sameer Sarnayak, Sanchita Garg, Sanjeev Kumar Mahash, Santanu Mandal, Soumya Rao, Saurabh Singhal, Shah Yash, Shailendra Singh, Shantanu Jain, Sharad Gupta, Shaurya Dwivedi, Sheetal Drolia, Sheetal Rathore, Shekhawat Ravindra Singh, Shevkani Kunal Mohandas, Shivam Kamboj, Shivani Gurung, Shreya Bhavna Topu, Shubham Agarwal, Shubham Sharma, Shubhangi Sharma, Shwet Nishalal, Shyam G, Siddharth Anil Sharma, Siddharth Rastogi, Siddharth Vasant Bang, Siddharth Anil, Simarpreet Singh, Simhadri Siddharth, Sindhuja R, Siriki Girija Kanak Sirisha, Sneha Pasham, Solvin Singh, Soumya Gupta, Sudeshna Haldar, Sumit, Sumit Kumar Singh, Suraj Kejriwal, Swapnil Shankar, Swet Mrigank, Tanvi Vora, Tarun Kumar Singh, Tej Gaurav Kanojia, Tilak Kasoju, Utkarsh Gupta, Vaibhav Goyal, Vaibhav Gupta, Vaibhav Rajendra Sarkale, Vaibhav Savani, Vaibhav Verma, Vaishali Gupta, Vaishnavi Anand, Vaishnavi Nayak, Vanshika Agarwal, Vanya Buddhiraja, Varnit Agrawal, Varshika Dharia, Varun Kelkar, Varun Nagpal, Vedika Agarwal, Vedika Chaudhary, Vibhas Srivastav, Vidushi Keshri, Vikash Dhanuka, Vinod Sekar, Vishal Singh, Vishnu Prasad, Vivek Kumar, Yash Mundhada, Yashraj Sanjay Chavan, Yashwardhan Bajaj, Mr. Chairman, I present Akash K. Verma and 259 others who have fulfilled all requirements for award of the Master of Business Administration and request the Board of Governors of the Indian Institute of Management, Udaipur, to confer the degree upon them.
The members of the board, may the degree be conferred to this candidate?
Yes.
Yes.
Thank you. By the authority given to me by the Indian Institute of Management, IIM Udaipur board, I confer to you the Master of Business Administration degree, and I charge you that in your life, by word and deed, you prove yourself worthy of it.
The Indian Institute of Management, Udaipur, Gold Medal for Scholastic Performance in the Master of Business Administration in Global Supply Chain Management is being awarded to Debashish Tarafdar, whose image is being displayed on the screen.
The Indian Institute of Management, Udaipur, Gold Medal for Scholastic Performance in the Master of Business Administration is being awarded to Simhadri Siddharth, Shah Yash, and Vaishnavi Anand, whose images are being displayed on the screen. The Indian Institute of Management, Udaipur, award for the best all-rounder in the Master of Business Administration is being awarded to Aliza Sheikh, whose image is being displayed on the screen.
I now request Mr. Sanjay Davar to deliver the convocation address.
Thank you, Mr. Pankaj Patel. Am I audible?
Yes.
Yeah, thank you. Well, good evening to the Board of Directors of the Indian Institute of Management, Udaipur, the 275 students of IIM U graduating batch of 2020, and of course their families, faculty of IIM U, and friends. Thank you very much for inviting me to the convocation ceremony for the graduating IIM U batch of 2020. At the very outset, what I'd like to do is start by saying I hope you all are staying safe in these very trying times for us as a nation. In this devastating second wave of COVID, we are all seeing our families, friends, colleagues being impacted at very close quarters. Therefore, I hope you're all staying safe, strong, and most importantly, calm, just given the current circumstances. I wish you all and your families and friends a healthy, safe, peaceful, and a very happy future. These are difficult times, but they shall pass. As I was pondering what I should speak about, I thought back to my own convocation, and I realized that I would have benefited immensely if I had the benefit of sage advice from people who had not only built meaningful careers for themselves, but also, more importantly, very fulfilling lives. With that thought, today, I'm going to focus on 5 key insights that I have stumbled upon during my journey over the last 3 decades of working with Accenture. First and foremost, I think find a primary reason to be. Now, while this may sound like a cliche when bandied about with words like personal purpose or North Star, I have come to realize that ultimately this is the only thing that matters in the long run. Why do I say that? Today, I have friends who have focused on something larger than their own existence, like serving underprivileged communities, devoting their lives to it, and found extreme happiness. For others, colleagues and friends, it's been all about money and what that can buy and what they can flaunt: a big house, luxury cars, first-class travel, holiday homes all over the world, and what have you. For others, it's been about job titles and the pace at which they get those new titles. And while there is no right or wrong answer here, but only a personal choice, and they're all right, knowing what you want from life and therefore, consequently, your work life is critical. This will decide how much time you spend in office with your colleagues or outside office with your family and friends. It will influence the number of holidays that you take or the number of days of vacation that will lapse because you didn't have the time to travel. So ponder this now at the very start of your careers, because I can assure you that towards the twilight of your career and life, you will certainly think about it. So for the first point, in summary, take some time out to think about your own life purpose and North Star now at the start of your careers. Second, stand for something. It's very important that you individually build a personal brand for yourself. In my experience, the core values that you stand for will go a long way in how your personal brand is perceived by others. This will also differentiate you from your peers and your colleagues. Some values that I've personally found to matter more than others, as in most of the careers I've seen, include, and I'll talk about 4 or 5 of them. The first and foremost, stewardship. Now, what does one mean by stewardship? So during your career, you will play many different roles. And stewardship is about leaving that role that you step into in a much, much better place than when you inherited it. In short, make a difference to every role you step into by adding incremental value to that role vis-a-vis your predecessor. This will also be your legacy. B, integrity. While often integrity is equated to ethics, and of course, there can be no compromise on ethics. And I've seen lots of colleagues and friends sacrifice their careers because they were not ethical. But more importantly, be known for your intellectual integrity. Have your own opinion on various matters and subjects. Don't just be yes men and women to your bosses. If you disagree with them, speak up. If you see something wrong or unjust in the organization, speak up. I've personally had the privilege of having some great bosses and mentors during the career that I've had with Accenture. And one of the first bosses gave me my most valued advice ever. And he said, and I quote, if something is good for your clients, of course, because we are Accenture, for our clients, for you, it would be customers, our people, which is employees of the organization, or the firm, just go ahead and do it. Don't ask for permission because it may be denied. You can always ask for forgiveness later if it doesn't work out. C, respect for the individuals. In today's diverse world, this is extremely important. Treat every individual as you want to be treated yourself. I have witnessed many companies wake up to this reality very late, and yet others, still my clients, that need to still become aware of this. No longer is it okay to yell at employees in your workplace, or have them work 80 hours per week, or treat men and women differently at work. We are in the golden age of inclusion and diversity, and you must respect every individual. D, best people. As human beings, our natural tendency will be to surround ourselves with people who are like us. However, I have found that it is wise to surround yourself with people who complement your skills in the team. If you're more of a left brain, analytical individual, then ensure that you have right brain, creative individuals on your team too. This is a great remedy for holistic business outcomes. In fact, also ensure that you have diversity on your teams, both gender and otherwise, as that lends itself to a very, very good balance of intelligence quotient and emotion quotient in all decisions that you will take. And finally, always lead with value. Now, this is central to corporations in the work environment in which we are. If we don't deliver value internally to the company, to our colleagues, our employees, we have no reason to be with the company. So lead with value, not just tangible, but also intangible. So in summary, in the second point, what I'm really trying to say is, while stewardship, integrity, best people, respect for the individual, and leading with value are indicative, these are core values that you can think about, but more importantly, you need to identify what core values matter to you and will differentiate you in your career going forward. Third, in today's work environment, a well-balanced career is very important. Now, I see employees today jumping jobs every 2 years, if not more frequently. And I'm a relatively rare case of an individual who in another week will complete 32 years with Accenture. And I've been with the same company from day one. So I often get asked this question, what kept you from venturing out? And while I did flirt with changing jobs every 3 to 4 years to gauge my personal value in the market, I did stay back after weighing the pros and cons at each juncture. So why, you might ask? Well, to me, a personal career, and I hope this will have some meaning for you, is it's like a tripod stool. It's balancing on 3 legs, and it has to balance. The 3 legs are what you personally contribute to the company. Second, the opportunity to learn from the company in the various diverse roles that you're going to play during the course of your career. But in my personal opinion, most importantly, enjoying the work that you do, enjoying the work environment, and the people you work with. Now, if your career is balanced, that seat will not wobble. And that seat is really the job satisfaction and everything else associated with the job, including the rewards. And by the way, you can always get more money when you start looking outside. So don't let money be the only reason that you either stay with a company or the reason you actually go to another company. So let's examine these 3 legs of the tripod a bit. The first leg, the personal contribution to the firm or to the organization that you're working with. This is a given. You have to be able to deliver to the expectations of the company, which would include the growth vision, the strategy, delivering on financial metrics, sales, revenue, profit, customer satisfaction, and many more. In my experience over time, this just becomes second nature because you know how to do this given your experience with the company. So what's the second leg? It's the opportunity to learn diverse things in the company. And this is important. This is often driven by the ongoing employee as well as leadership development initiatives within the company, as also the succession planning. This is mainly influenced by a company's ability to stay ahead of competitors by seeing around the corner of the trends which are coming next and equipping their employees to get ahead of competition, and then quickly see what's the next trend and be gone by the time your competition gets to where you were in the first place. Once again, in my experience, this typically gives you an advantage of anywhere between 6 and 18 months, depending on the trend. This advantage that you have as a company of staying ahead will also give you the opportunity in a flourishing company to play diverse roles. And that makes you a complete overall business leader. But now coming, in my experience, to the third and most important leg, which is enjoying your work, the work environment, and the people you work with. And in my case, this was the primary reason for me staying back every time I flirted with the enemy on the dark side. It's the kind of people that I get to work with, it's the work culture, and most importantly, it's the diverse type of work that I get to do. In my profession, I get to work with clients across industries with different kinds of problems, top line issues, bottom line issues, organizational issues, culture issues, and therefore it's very fulfilling. But most importantly, it's the people, capable, very content rich, but at the same time, and most importantly, very humble and down to earth. Also a lot to be around, both at work and outside work. This is so important because you spend most of your lives working in a company, and it doesn't make any sense to stay with a company where you're not enjoying yourself. So whenever this tripod stool starts to wobble, when you start looking for opportunities outside, it's okay, because you've lost the balance within that particular company. So on this third dimension, in summary, really what I'm saying is, as you progress your career, think about what will bring balance to your own career tripod stool. It's got to be balanced. Every time it gets out of balance, think of moving on. Fourth, focusing on strengths requires discipline rather than focusing on your weaknesses. Now, what do I mean by this? So in my career, I've got a lot of advice from a lot of bosses who've told me, you've got to improve in X, Y, Z areas. And that's what's going to make you move ahead. And it took me some time, but I realized pretty fast that I've got to take that with a pinch of salt. In my personal experience, focusing on your strengths yields far greater results than trying to improve in areas that are areas for improvement. There's a reason an area of development is an area of development. It's because it doesn't come to you naturally. And therefore, while it is important to meet the hygiene level of the areas of importance that your bosses will tell you over the course of your career, focus on your strengths. And you will go a long, long way by focusing on strengths. And while this is not a rocket science, I've seen a lot of my colleagues fail in getting to this particular realization. For those of you who are mathematically oriented, let me put this into an equation of sorts. Just another way to look at this is that when you're doing something, give it greater than 100%, or basically give it your best. So even if you're relatively weak in some area, you can make it fly or meet the hygiene by just focusing on it more than 100%. So if you take 1.01 and you multiply that to the power of 365, if you factor it to 365, the number you get is 37.8. However, even if you are strong at something and if you don't give it your best, then know that 0.99 to the power of 365 at the end of the year will give you 0.025. And that is the power of compounding. And just as a sidebar, you are starting to earn money. You will pay 1/3 of your money to taxes. You'll probably spend another third, but make sure you actually save the balance third. Because you will be astonished at the end of your working life what the power of compounding has done for you in terms of creating wealth for both yourself and your family. And you will remember me that day. So the moral of the story is that when you're doing something, give it your best. Else, a strength can become a weakness given the lack of focus, and a weakness can sort of become a strength given the steadfast focus. So, in summary, what I'm saying on this fourth thing is focus on strengths, and even when trying to meet the hygiene factor on your weaknesses, focus, focus, focus. Lastly, and fifth and last, we've all heard of IQ and we've heard of EQ, intelligence quotient and emotion quotient. But what about TQ and SQ? And let me introduce these two acronyms to you. So it was way back in 2013 when we did some research as a firm, and we came out with this tagline which said, every business will be a digital business. Till 2020, the uptake of digital was very, very varied by different industries and also by different companies. In essence, what this means is that if you don't digitize your customer facing as well as your internal processes, relative to your competitors, who, if they have done it better, you will lose to them over a period of time, both in terms of your ability to generate profits and also to grow top line. Or in other words, profitable growth will come to you much more in a difficult way relative to your competitors who've already digitized. Now, today in these COVID times, since early 2020, we've seen a number of companies being forced to take on digitization, given the forced work from home situation. Based on our research over the course of the last 12 months, the companies that had already digitized before 2020 have gained significant market share relative to their competition. And this is because their customer and internal processes were already digitalized. Therefore, for all of you in the current business environment, the need to be digitally savvy when it comes to your own personal technology quotient, or in inverted commas TQ, is critical. That means that you should already be familiar with, and I'm sure most of you are, but you need to become experts at it too, is what is AI, artificial intelligence, or machine learning? How do you make that journey to cloud for your company? What is the leverage of extended reality in your business setup? How can you leverage the Internet of Things or blockchain in your existing business? Or for that matter, even tomorrow, how can your company leverage quantum computing or digital currency, which is slowly but surely headed towards becoming a reality, and many other emerging technologies. So stay digitally savvy and make sure that your TQ score is high as you progress in your career. This is because we are already living in an era and an environment where human plus machine is extremely important. And the individuals and companies that will succeed will be the ones who can deliver on the promise of technology in the context of business, but not divorced from human ingenuity. There is no substitute for judgment, but you have to learn to work along with machines as humans in the future. Secondly, the expanding gap between the haves and the have-nots. It is no longer enough for companies to focus only on shareholder value. Going forward, companies will have to pivot away from only shareholder value creation to overall stakeholder value creation. This means that the importance of employees, inclusion and diversity, working with communities in your nations, ecosystem partnering will become more central to value addition by companies. In other words, while I said that in 2013, we said every business will be a digital business, and that's already becoming a reality. It is our view that in the future, every business will be a sustainable business. Therefore, what's the implication for you? All of you in the current and future business environment, the need to make sure that stakeholder savviness is a part of your skill set is extremely important, or the sustainability quotient, or SQ in inverted commas, for each of you will become critical. That means that you should already be thinking about your personal and individual roles in helping your company and your society and your ecosystem partners to go from profitable growth to responsible growth in the future. So in summary, in this fifth aspect, what I'm really saying is think about your own technology and sustainability quotient, or TQ and SQ in short. In conclusion, what I've tried to do is really summarize my personal learnings over the course of my working life, and they fall into these 5 categories, and I just want to summarize those for you at the end. First, think about your personal purpose and the North Star today when you're starting your career, not 30 years down the line when you are at the twilight of your career. 2, stand for values that will differentiate you and help you build your own personal brand. 3, define your own tripod stool for evaluating your career as it progresses over time, and also the number of companies you want to work for. 4, focus on your strengths. Weaknesses can wait, but even around weaknesses, focus, focus, focus to get to the hygiene. And finally, build your technology and sustainability quotients, or TQ and SQ for short, as this will be hygiene in the coming decades. Once again, I'd like to thank the organizers for inviting me to the IIM U 2020 graduation convocation. Please stay safe, stay strong, but most importantly, stay calm in these trying COVID times. I wish you and your families and friends a healthy, safe, peaceful, and most importantly, a very happy future. And as for the passing batch, I wish you a successful career, but most importantly, a very, very fulfilling life. Thank you.
Mr. Sanjay Dawar, chief guest this evening. Mr. Pankaj Bhai Patel, chairman. Members of the Board of Governors, my faculty colleagues, parents, and graduating class of 2020. Mr. Dawar, thank you for accepting our invitation to be the chief guest at IIM Udaipur's 8th convocation.
Thank you very much.
This is a momentous occasion for the graduating students of 2-year MBA and 1-year MBA as they move to the next stage of their lives. In your address, you talked about challenges and opportunities. You have given them benefit of many decades of insights, distilled in those 5 insights. And I'm sure that's something which is going to stay with them all their lives. You're a role model for our graduating batch. Your invaluable lessons will inspire and guide them as they deal with many difficult decisions they'll inevitably face in their careers and lives. Thank you for this really inspiring words and thoughtful words.
Thank you for having me, Jonathan, the board of IIM Udaipur. Thank you very much.
No, we understand that convocation is a landmark event for all of you. It had already caused inconvenience to many of you and your parents when we had postponed the convocation scheduled on March 30th, 2020, considering the COVID situation. Nevertheless, we've been working hard to host it in a blended environment. And we chose this date, 1st May, and this 4 to 6, primarily because it looked convenient to all of you. Unfortunately, because of this second wave, we're doing this in a virtual form. I genuinely acknowledge and appreciate the participation of each one of you. Let me reaffirm that the Institute is committed to create a similar experience by conducting a physical event at a time that works for all of you. We look forward to the future event where we will not just be celebrating your accomplishment at IIM U, but also learn where life has taken you after this graduating day. I'm happy that all the board members, faculty members, visiting faculty, adjunct faculty members, parents, and family members are part of this event. I want to acknowledge the presence and thank each one of you for being with us today at this critical moment. Coming to the graduating batch, with imagination, hard work, and dare I say with audacity, you continued to uphold IIM U's tradition on campus. You built on the foundation laid by your seniors and scaled new heights. But something marked you out as different as a batch. You're keen to work on something fundamental, complex, and detailed stuff like rewriting the Constitution. It may seem like a small thing from the outside, but we at IIM U know that that's the foundation of our student life on campus. The source of our pride when we say that ours is a student-driven campus. The first Constitution was written up in 2013 when the second batch, at MLSU campus put together the Constitution. But at Balicha, you realize very quickly that the context has changed entirely. What was acceptable for 200 students in MLSU campus need a significant overhaul. And your batch took the challenge and worked for several months to create a new constitution that would see IIM U through its growth phase. By retaining IIM U's heritage through the spirit of constitution, you ensured that future batches will experience the same transformation journey in their experience on campus. Thank you for taking up and completing this complex project that will forever make you a part of IIM U's history. I would also like to acknowledge your involvement and support and contribution in building Vision 2030. I also want to say a particular word about our graduating one-year MBA class. Congratulations. You're the first one-year batch to get an MBA degree. But with the kind of performance you've shown at IIM U and Purdue, you've taken the program to very different heights. So you would also have a special place in our hearts. I'm aware last year has been a challenging for each of you with delayed joining, revoked offers, very unusual way of starting careers. But you all handled it very well. My message to you today is possibly not very different from what I would have said if we had the event in March 2020. But the time away from a campus and the challenges faced by you in the last year would probably make you valuing my message much more. As we all celebrate our success today, we want to say that you're capable enough to take on the world. We would like you to dream big. I hope that the expectations we have for you will not intimidate you and make you reluctant to take a risk. The expectations are a sign of our confidence in you. On this important day, one thing you should never forget is that career is only one part of fulfilling life. Our chief guest talked about it in a detail that you must live a fulfilling life. But please bear in mind that the responsibility towards your parents. They deserve your utmost gratitude for having you supported to achieve your goal of obtaining one of the most challenging degrees. Make the right choices so your relationship with your family becomes an enduring source of success. The next few decades will be the most important ones in your professional journey, but they'll also be defining years for the country and society. Always take with you the solid moral principles that IIM has tried to instill in you. Inculcate the habits of ethics and values the Institute has guided you with at every step of your life. This is especially important given the economic instability that the world is currently witnessing. The world is undergoing a sea change. The critical factor of success in such a situation is adaptability and preparedness. Don't take shortcuts. Reorient your way of functioning and thinking, and make sure you continue to acquire irrelevant managerial skills. Remember that management is the noblest of the professions if it is practiced well. No other occupation offers as many ways to help others learn and grow. Take responsibility, be recognized for achievement, and contribute to society. Understand this gift that you received and strive to be an exemplary leader like our chief guest this evening. Of course, you must enjoy this journey. Take time for yourself and the people you love. There's no point in running a race where you don't stop and rest, recover, and reflect once in a while. Accumulate experiences, friends, respect, and wisdom, rather than just smiles, money, and worldly pleasures. This will make your journey far more fulfilling. Going ahead, do let us know where you achieved something. We would love to celebrate with you. But do share your failures also with us. Our shoulders will always be there. Remember that no matter where you go, at IIM U will always be coming home. IIM U is going to be known for the performance of its students and alumni. You're going to be our brand ambassadors. The world would know IIM U by your conduct. You have that responsibility. My dear graduates, never stop dreaming. I wish each one of you success. Stay safe and make us proud of your achievements. Thank you. Now we're going to play national anthem.
जनगण मन अधिनायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता पंजाब सिंध गुजरात मराठा द्राविड़ उत्कल बंग विंध्य हिमाचल यमुना गंगा उज्ज्वल जलधि तरंग तव शुभ नामे जागे तव शुभ आशीष मांगे गाहे तव जय गाथा जनगण मंगलदायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता जय हे जय हे जय हे जय 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 हे
I declare the convocation closed.